a little bit elegant standard. This could actually be a replacement for a meal. A small white plate and a sharp knife, larger than this. So this is bread pudding, just fancified bread pudding, right? And you can see you can bake it in any kind of casserole. Today we're going to set it up in a pan like this. Don't worry about what it is. It's the simplest thing in the world. You don't need to get stressed out about what the, you can do it in one of those tall cylinders if you want. Have this funky tall bread. You can do whatever you want, right? And it's simply, bread pudding is leftover bread and custard, right? And a custard is dairy liquid, right? This I use 2/3 milk, 1/3 heavy cream, a little richness to it. Some eggs to bind it. It's a sweet custard. It's got sugar. Savory one. It's got some other savory component to it. So, real quick, like you guys, you folks have this recipe, and this is the kind of not to be a snob about it, but look at the simple ingredients. You might as well, this is the cheese that's the $30 a pound. This is not the one that you get in a plastic bag that's shredded. Take this. This is just so amazing what you taste. That you really gotta do it right. Here, put some whole eggs in here. If you want to make it like creme brulee style, take some of the egg whites out and put more egg yolks. Little salt and pepper. What kind of salt? Doesn't much matter. There's salt in the bread, which we're going to talk about. I've done this so many different ways. Take a layer of bread, which I'll show you, and then pre-cook some Yukon potatoes, real thinly sliced, and put a layer of them in. I did that for the Idaho Council last year. I was Mr. January. Yeah. So that's that. Let's set that aside. Just our moms used to take the wrapper from the butter and rub it around the inside. Just get a little bit on there. It's just to prevent all that cheese from sticking, right? What does strata mean?
Street or
That's strata. Strata.
Layer. Oh, strata is street.
This is a tiny street food, correct? This is more of the really good eggs, real fresh cream, real fresh dairies.
Could give you a bigger bowl.
I also broke my my rule. Keep the eggs up first. You don't have to chase them around the bowl. Right, Susan?
Yeah. You want a bigger bowl?
Sounds good. Thank you. If we find the yolk in the way here, we'll break it up. That's good. Simple custard, right? Now, when you're making custards at home, take 1 quart of liquid to about 4 to 6 eggs. If you want to make creme caramel, put some sugar in there. It's all based off the same things. If you want ice cream, use half and half. If you want bread pudding, you can use all milk. If you want creme caramel, it's all milk, extra yolks. They're all like based off the same ratio, right? It's the simplest thing in the world. That's nice looking. Huh?
Beautiful, gorgeous.
So here we start building the strata, right? We do that by taking your favorite loaf of bread.
Which is Panera bread.
Right. And this is one of those things that, like, you don't just grab any bread for this. You have to grab like the most lustful bread that you can like imagine. And for me and for our work, we're pretty lucky that it's kind of like right there. This sourdough, let's get big chunks of Asiago, and then the bakers at the cafe slid it down the middle and put this freshly ground Asiago cheese down the middle. I'm sorry you're not going to be tasting any of this. So, like cards, real thin, somewhere about 1/8 of an inch thick. We'll start lining the pan. It's no big Try to keep them flat. If you start writing up on the sides, then you lose the visual of them afterwards. I'll kind of do this pretty quickly so you can. Actually, a small cut.
Like bagging
Yeah, it's pretty insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I try.
Let's take a look at that. Just to further mess you up. And so the cooking time depends on the vessel that you use, right? Yes, you go. I love you, man. I love you, man. So here, layer of bread, layer of cheese, right? Put plenty of cheese on there. This is the one where you go get a pound of cheese, you bite the bullet, and you make this. Like every Thanksgiving, I do this. Like just a big one, put in the middle of the table. It's awesome.
I like that idea instead of stuffing.
Instead of stuffing, in addition.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, right now you want to go.
And we can have tofu instead of turkey.
There we go, exactly. Obviously, I'm not going to hurt all.
Then you
Turkey for everybody else.
Then you can move to Russia or wherever you come from. So here, another layer of bread. Cheese. See, there's a pattern developing here. It's very fair.
Really should have let us all make one to take home today.
So what do you all think about bread?
That one is good.
You're making this for my holiday lunch.
So
at the
who
invitation.
drinks wine? Right, cool. So if there was a news article tomorrow on Fox or News New York or something that said researchers just found out that bread is really bad for you, it makes you fat, that wine makes you fat, how likely would you stop drinking wine?
Not if it's on Fox. Why would I leave?
So what the hell happened with bread? You said it, that's all. So I mean, so why did people give up on? Why you continue to give up on bread? Is, you know, I was in San Francisco a couple weeks ago, and we were with some customers, and I raised the question of, by an answer of good or bad. Protein.
Good.
Fat.
Good.
Carbohydrates. Everybody said bad. And it's like, wow, it's kind of really rejiggering our thought about bread. I mean, if you think about a few things, now always moderation, but the bread we had last night at Locanda Verde, there's no room for moderation because it was awesome. It was so good. You know, it's understanding nutrition, which I'm not sure many people do. We learned a little bit in school, right, about nutrition and calories, and I think to throw out bread out the window is it's really shameful, you know, not to include it. So just spread the word about bread in general, you know, and then how great Panera bread is for sure. So I'm always gonna start with bread and end with bread. Right? You don't want to have cheese on the bottom of the pan; it'll stick. And right behind this Lynn over there in the oven, which is doubling as a proof box. I want to take a quick look at something here and talk about it. This is the babka we're going to make. That's the same. So the one big question that always comes up with bread makers is, how do you know when bread is ready to go in the oven? You know, they're proofing. You know, and years ago when I worked in Lille, France, and worked with these different bakers, and I was in a room with, you know, Raymond Calvel, who's 95 years old, one of the greatest baking professors in the world, and Lionel Poilon here, and then another gentleman who I really respect. And we were presenting baguettes, and we were about to put them in the oven, and Mr. Calvel said, These need 5 more minutes before they go into the oven. And Paulana's like, they should do it within 20 minutes ago, they are garbage. And then, you know, Dieter, his name was, he said, they're perfect. And I'm like, now I'm really confused because I'm sitting with the greatest people in the world around bread minds. And so there's a lot of that, you know, your personal touch. But generally, you know, when you take a loaf of bread and you push down on a piece of dough, it shouldn't sink down. Because if it sinks down, it stays down, and the finger touch, it's overproof. Right? There's no more energy left to kick back and rise the loaf. Conversely, if I push down and it bounces back and fills in, I can't see any mark where my finger is. There's too much energy. It needs to chill a little bit longer and ferment. But if I touch it and it bounces back about halfway, there's energy left. It's now going to rely on steam in the oven to jump the rest of the way. Yeah, that's it. Forget about this double in size stuff, because that doesn't make sense. What does that mean? Double in size? Is that 2/3 in size? 3/4? It's hard. It's a hard thing to get your head around. So just touch, feel, experience. Bounces back halfway. I'm going to throw this in now. Hope you don't mind. Get that bacon. I don't want that to get overproof. And so here the strata, we're just finishing up here. That babka is probably going to go for about 30 minutes total. Okay. No cheese on top. We don't want excessive browning. Plus, the top will be the bottom later, right? Okay, so I want to get a view so you all can get a view so I can block the photograph. And this is not brain surgery for sure. So you're taking ladles of this, and you start, you know what, the best way to do this is to make it the night before. I made that yesterday. And, you know, we kept pouring it on top, let it absorb into the bread, pour on top, and just keep layering that on, right?
Do you have to refrigerate it, or?
Yes, you should definitely refrigerate it.
You can tell.
Unless you're in any other country in the world, then you could leave it out all day. So here, just keep ladling it on.
What's it called again? Somebody help you?
So the way custard works, in this case with bread pudding, and the importance of the ratio between eggs and dairy products is important, because if you don't have enough, and you've all done this, I've seen it, if you don't have enough egg in there to congeal it, you have a really wet pudding that is just free water and milk just sitting in there. And if you put too much eggs, it's like the scrambled egg mass, the bread pudding is like this thing, you know, it's like, so that balance is pretty important for texture, right? I think bread pudding is the thing, you know?
I would serve this with dinner with a salad. And a glass of wine. Like I also had
Yeah. This with a glass of wine and like, and that's it. That's great. Or any, you know, green salad or something like that. And if you're able to, and you can go as far as you want, because you can put different pre-cooked things in the layers, or certain things that are not cooked that have the same. And custards don't take that long. This is going to take a little bit of time, probably like 40 minutes. And that's mostly because of the density of it, you know.
What stuff could you put inside? Like broccoli flour? Like what would be inside?
Yeah, I mean, just anything that you like, right? Except for gluten-free bread. Just kidding. You could do that if you want. And actually, a custard would probably make gluten-free bread taste really good. Maybe. So just keep putting it on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this back to Danielle here. And she's going to continue to ladle it on, let it sit for a little bit. Put this back here.
Now, how long should you let it sit?
If you have the time, do it the night before, right? And if you don't have the time, let it sit for as much time as you could. Right? This one we're gonna let it sit for 5 minutes, get it in the oven so we can eat it afterwards.
And then if you refrigerate it, do you let it come to room temp before you cook it again? Or can you go
The only difference
fridge,
is it's
so-
gonna take longer in the oven.
Okay.
Right? So about 325 degrees, and just let it go real slow and bake. And often at the end, I crank it up to get that crispy. How was that, by the way? Is it good?
I'm not, I was just saying, I'm not even embarrassed that I'm embarrassed. That's how it works.
Awesome.
Not embarrassed that I still will be.
So that's the temperature you put it in is at 325?
Yeah, about that. I mean, you know, a custard, the lower temperature you put like a creme brulee. I used to bake creme brulee like 275. The slower that you congeal an egg, the smoother the protein is, especially if you have sugars and dairy in there. So, yeah, time. But I crank it up to get that browning on the outside towards the last 10, 15 minutes or so.
Great. Thank you.